This is in response to Blue Adept's 3 questions video. Now, you asked 3 questions which you then said were all related to pain. I think it's important for us to take a look first at what pain is. Pain is a sensation that is meant to cause us to take actions meant to protect ourselves, save ourselves from experiencing hurt or damage. Example: fire. We all know fire is hot, but how? Well, I'm holding my hand over it, and yeah, it's feeling warm, and oh, yeah, that was getting kind of painful. Now, the knee-jerk reaction is for me to pull my hand away, preventing permanent damage from occurring. And as you can see, in this case, there is no damage that happened. I have not been burned. Now, your first question was if or what I would consider any one of a number of specific animals and their capacity to feel pain. First 2 you mentioned, the paramecium and the jellyfish. They don't have brains, so their ability to form even the concept of pain isn't really the same as with a person. I mean, they would be able to maybe feel sensations that say, hey, this is not quite so good for me and I need to get out of there. But actually thinking that, they don't have the ability to do that because they just don't have the nervous system or the brain power. You then asked about earthworms, slugs, and houseflies. Well, earthworms, slugs, and houseflies are all invertebrates, and we really don't understand how invertebrates feel senses from the outside world. Just as an example, for example, the earthworm, its nervous system really involves a couple of ganglia that run up and down their spine, or lack of spine, that is, invertebrate. My bad. But they can detect certain sensations which could cause them damage and will try and retreat from them. But pain? I would say probably not, though we'll never really know for sure. Unless you've spoken to an earthworm that said, oh yeah, that hurts. Okay, you then asked about a frog. Well, amphibians, okay, there's a bit of a brain in there. And as we start getting with larger animals, there's also going to be some memory there as well. I believe that the frog can feel pain, and certainly it knows to get away from things that could damage it. After the frog, you asked about mouse, dog, cat, chimp, and human. Mammals. Well, I don't think there's any question there that mammals, especially the larger mammals, certainly do feel pain. I've seen rodents run from painful stimuli like the electric shock test, where they push one button, they get a shock, push another button, they get food. Dogs, if you've ever heard a dog yelp, then you have no question that a dog can feel pain. Cats, similar thing. Well, chimp being our closest relative in the evolutionary tree, yeah, I would say they feel pain too. And I'm pretty sure that I felt pain with my little lighter experiment here. So, For your first question, I hope that explains that for you. Let's move on to your second question. And this is why I wanted to just define what pain is, in that it's a sensation meant to elicit a reaction to prevent damage occurring to yourself or an individual from experiencing damage. To program a computer application to experience pain constantly, it would take more than just making a program to do that. You'd have to introduce some sort of external force that's causing that pain. And as a program, that's not really possible. Now, we haven't really gotten to the point where we have true artificial intelligence, so we don't know if it would be even possible to give a computer program the ability to feel pain. Whether it's moral, well, if we were able to give a computer program intelligence, sentience, and then subject it to experiencing pain, then yeah, I could see it as not being moral, because that would be torture. And last time I checked, torturing our fellow man was not that good, though certainly know that a lot of people out there still tend to do that. There's a lot of organizations, political groups, a lot of religions that still experiment with torture. But that doesn't make it right. Alright. Now your last question. You said it was going to be about pain. Your last question really isn't about pain. You should really admit that up front. The question itself is, what would I think, or whoever responds to this, what would they think about two little ants contemplating a higher power that must not exist because that higher power is not doing more than it can to eliminate pain among the ants? Well, do we even recognize that those ants are sentient? I don't. I'd be just as inclined to take a magnifying glass and fry them right there as they're contemplating. So, really, if, as I suspect that this is a thinly veiled attempt to try and prove God by proving some sort of fallacy with classic atheist argument against God because God isn't doing more to alleviate pain, it kind of falls flat because, well, one, I don't, and this is something I already talked about with invertebrates. I don't know if ants feel pain. Quite frankly, I don't really care. I mean, otherwise I wouldn't purchase pesticides or use magnifying glasses on them or stomp on them. Now, if there was a higher power above me that saw me in the same light, I'm not sure there's anything I could do about that. But if he was like that, well, not gonna just jump on the bandwagon and worship him anyways. Your questions were kind of misleading in that respect. That last one wasn't about pain. It was a philosophical question about the existence of God. And since I've still yet to see any evidence for his existence, can't say I think that he's there at all. Anyways, I hope that was as painless as possible. Well, to most people. Cheers and good.